Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 17, and welcome back to the Western Shore. It is day 3 of autumn. Things continue. Our harvest is almost done. Our fall is almost done. We're getting ready for winter. We've just got a couple more things to do. Let's talk about that. So off camera, I did get all of our fields that were previously canola. Those are canola once again. The wheat fields, only 64 was wheat previously. That has been reseeded with wheat. I say that right? Yeah. That's been reseeded with wheat. 63 is our new field. That's got wheat in it. 55 was a potato field. That's got wheat in it. 52 was grass. That has wheat in it. And 54, these were the potatoes that we turned under and planted wheat there as well. And everything is growing. And we can also see in this screen, our corn is ready to come in. 61 and 62. I leased a combine harvester to do that. I'll tell you why in a minute. But here's something interesting. When we select our grass, day 3 of autumn, all of our grass has gone to harvested. Now, we do keep the fertilizer. So in the spring when this grows, we won't have to fertilize any of this when it begins growing. But we did lose third cut. I'm okay with it. And you remember when we were... it was a few episodes ago, I was sort of fretting. What do we want to do with second cut? Do we want to make it into animal food? Do we want to take it down to the BGA? My concern was with all the rain that we were forecast to get during the fall, that I would not be able to get all of third cut in, or conceivably, I wouldn't be able to get any of it in. We would lose it all to rain, or we wouldn't be able to get out there between rain showers. You can see there's our canola starting to grow. No tram lines because everything is triple fertilized. So we made second cut into animal food, and we were going to put third cut into the BGA, into the pit down at the BGA with what's in there already. I was waiting for the rain to stop. It rained the first and second day of autumn. I was waiting for the rain to stop. Today, third day, we have a window. It's going to rain again soon, so we want to get started on our corn. But when I woke up this morning, when I came onto the farm this morning, I thought we would be doing corn and grass, and the grass is gone. So it's okay. I mean, we lost about 200,000 there. I'm not happy about that, but it's okay, because had we gone the other route, we would have an extra 200,000, which frankly we probably would have spent already on something, candy and gum, like we do. We're always buying some new toy for the farm. But more importantly, we would not have that extra animal food put up, and I'm glad that we do. So the animals won't starve, and if we had to make a mistake in one direction or the other, I'm glad the direction that we made our mistake in cost us some money, but our animals are not at risk, and our animals are making us a lot of money. Sir, that was odd. Negative response on the brakes there. So I'm okay with it. Like I said, not happy about it, but I'm okay with it. I'm at peace with it. So we will just need to be a little bit more careful with our money and hustle up. And things are looking good. And we know, I think we can, yeah, all we did was drive this down the lane. It wasn't working hard at all, so we'll turn that off. We know we're going to make $500,000 from pigs next year. Possibly more, right? Because the longer the higher our pig population becomes, the faster they reproduce. So rather than selling 100 a day, right? We keep 100 pigs, they make 100 pigs, we sell them the next day. What if we keep 200 pigs, they make 200 the next day, and we're selling 200 a day and having a maximum population of 400? Does that make sense? I mean, we might have enough food for all that. Something to think about. So rather than the pigs making us $500,000 as they did this season, they'll make us $1 million? We'll see. Right, so we want to unfold this. Oh, and this is the combine harvester that we leased, by the way. There's 2 reasons for it. One is it has a bigger tank, and I think it will be more productive and easier. And the other reason is this header, well, neither corn header really fit the TX34, and it's possible that is only for cereal and not really for corn. So we'll figure it out. All right. Back the cruise control down to about 6 miles per hour. And let's go 5. And our first headland, I mean, it'll just be easier if we kind of kick this thing to the right and make our first headland backwards. Let's do that. All right, here we go. So this will go, the pigs don't have any corn right now, so this will go, the first trailer will go into the trough, and we'll get them going again, because their health, I think you saw the window up there, their health is 55% right now. So they're not dying, but they're not maximum productive. It doesn't matter because they're not reproducing anyway, but I don't necessarily like that number. And we do have to figure out, because our hay and silage count for the cows continues, it's like 60,000 now, and our TMR count is like 5,000. So every time we put TMR in, the TMR count tapers back down to 0, but the, I want to say it's hay and silage, that count stays up high. So I'm wondering if we can't stop feeding our cows TMR and taper that hay and silage total, right? Bring that volume down over the winter so that it's a little bit more balanced next spring. We'll explore that. The main thing is I don't want the cows to get sick or die. And I know that they wouldn't all just drop dead. If letting the TMR drop down to 0 was adversely affecting the cows, we would see and sort of be able to track that and get warning and understand, yeah, okay, this is a bad thing, let's get some TMR in there. So I think that might be a thing that we do just to balance those food levels, ratios. Yeah, the relative levels of food that we're feeding our cows, I'd like to balance that out a little bit. So we may do that, and it's also possible that we just don't feed our pigs corn in the winter and save it for next summer when we're running our pig breeding operation and we need the extra corn. Same with the wheat. Maybe skip feeding wheat to some of the animals over the winter. I don't know. I feel like the animal, is that animal husbandry? Yeah, more or less. I feel like it's vastly improved in Seasons. Seasons makes it so much better and more comprehensive than base game, but I do feel like there are some things that are still a little bit vague, and we're not really sure as players what exactly we're doing and why. And some of that stuff you can find on the Realismus modding on their forums, but some of it you just need to kind of trial and error. So maybe we'll do that, trial and error a little bit. Now, next question, are we going to make it all the way around here in one headland? Because we're coming up and we're at 40%. Tell you what, let's lift this and do a proper turn instead of trying to crank this thing 90 degrees in very limited space. I noticed this on the way up too. This is base game combine harvester, base game header. It feels like the header is pulling this thing up off the rear wheels. Like it's really front heavy. I don't know. MR does some funny things with the game. Base game equipment or not, MR does some funny things with the game. For the most part, it's a fantastic mod and I love it. But every now and then, you got to raise an eyebrow at more realistic. It seems not more realistic. It seems unrealistic. So, what else is going on? I'm thinking about buying this at our, I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock right there. That is our newest field, and it's one of the biggest fields that we own. I'm also thinking of buying this field right behind us and getting a different money crop in there, because we've got canola and wheat, but that is primarily for the animals. What if we did soybeans or sunflower or something next spring, right? A crop that we would have to plant in the spring. We can plant canola and wheat as winter crops, but we can't plant like soybeans or something and have them. We would only be able to plant those next spring anyway. So maybe next spring we'll think about getting another field and getting that going. And also right back over there, more or less, sort of directly in front of us, between us and the lighthouse, there is the Strumblehead farm, which is a sheep farm. I think maybe we'll get that going as well and transfer, let's say, half of our sheep from Seaview down to Strumblehead and get a second sheep operation going as we begin making money next. Trying to think when. I mean, we'll make money all during the winter from milk. We'll be able to keep the lights turned on. We're at 16,000 right now. We've got, I want to say, about a $300,000 balance on our loan. We've got 200,000 as good as money down at the PGA, so we could knock, say, another 150,000 off the loan, cut it in half, and use 50,000 of that to buy sheep. Right? Yeah, you see how the rear wheels just really don't want to bite, and that's with a tank at 72%. I don't know. This thing feels unbalanced right now. Not loving it. So it goes. 200,000 from the BGA. Right? We get 200,000 from the BGA and 150 off the loan and 50,000 in animals. 50,000 in sheep. We may have to buy some hay bales because the hay bales we have put up right now are for the dairy and Seaview. So if we added a third draw to that count, I don't know that we would have enough for our cows for the winter. Probably, but possibly we'd run out. So if we buy sheep for Strumblehead and get that up and running, we would probably want to buy some hay bales as well, just to make sure that those animals were fed till first cut next year. And we, at some point, may want to think about a bigger tanker. We have a 9,600 liter tanker now, but if we get Strumblehead going and if we get Blockwell going as a second dairy farm, we're going to be carrying a lot of water up here from the water treatment facility in town. Let's see, so we can shut this down now. And let's get this, let's do a little 3-point turn here and get this moved around to the correct side. Get the pipe out, and we'll bring our 1255 over, empty this thing for the first time, and get that taken over to the pigs. I think, yeah, we can do that, because we've got, what, one headland, 5,000 liters. Yeah, I think we'll get 40 or 50,000 out of here. Yeah, we can risk that first load on the pigs. And what I mean by that is, make sure we're pointed the right way here. And I'm going to pull this up just a little bit so we know we've got room. Like right about there. Yeah, right about there. What I mean by that is I don't know that we have to feed pigs corn over the winter. Pipe is out. There we go. And we'll let that run. And we may, in all likelihood, save game. We may, in all likelihood, not feed them corn and possibly even not feed them wheat during the winter. As long as they're not going to die, we will give them as little food as possible and as little variety of food as possible. But for now, because this is the first corn that we've harvested, let's go ahead and get it in there and just take no chances. All right, and I think that's everything I had on my list. Yeah, we'll open those other two farms. You know our plan now. We're just going to keep growing this operation until I can't handle it anymore. So we're going to get Strumblehead open. We're going to get Blockwell open. And I think that's all the farms sort of on this side of the map. I mean, even the logistics of emptying poo, right, cleaning out the sheds at both Blackrock and Bramble, and then add Blockwell. There's going to be a lot of trips back and forth with the telehandler. So at some point, it is going to become unmanageable, but we're not there yet. Let's go ahead and add those farms and see how much more we can handle. So yeah, I think that's everything. Yep. Oh, and I'm thinking about getting a big old farm truck too. Now that's a ways out. Those are incredibly expensive. Not a lorry. I mean a truck like one of these. Yeah, 300 grand. It's a pretty big investment. We would need a lot of money in the bank. I mean, our loan would need to be fully paid off, and we would need a lot of money in the bank before I could justify that, because all of our needs are met as far as transpo and logistics. We don't need that. We don't even almost need that. I just want one. So that will be something we need to save for another day. And I think this trailer, for some reason, yeah, that's something, I don't know why that like triggers my OCD, but anytime there's a crop poking through a cover. Oh, that's rough. So we'll leave that cover off. Come back in here. Put the pipe away. Brake is off. And let's see if we can put this on a smart headland. Smart workers have been not the worst lately. They've been doing all right. So we'll see if we can get this going. So, start it up. Brake is off. Let's pull up here a little bit. Right about here. No. No, no. Put that pipe away. All right. So now we'll get this backed up. Take it across the lane. And where are we at on time? 16 minutes? That might work out just about right. Just about right. Right. So we're going to come up here. We're going to fight the FPS drops. There's a lot going on this map. We got a lot of animals, a lot of bales, and we're getting more and more equipment. We definitely have some occurrences of low FPS. What can you do? It's a beautiful, detailed, gorgeous map as well. And we are on ultra settings, so everything's a trade-off in this life. Let's look up a ways there and see if we can see any traffic. We do not, so we'll go ahead and risk it. Drive against traffic just momentarily. Right here. And I did not find a UK or Irish-made trailer that tips to the side. If you know of one, let me know. I haven't found one yet, so we're going to jackknife this thing in here just a little bit and get this corn emptied out. Right. Get that open. Brakes off, back it up. Straighten out a little bit. Just a little bit more. Here we go. It'll take a minute for this to cycle through. I'm curious if this bumps our... Whoa. I wanted to jackknife, but not that soon and not in that direction. I'm curious how long it takes for this corn to cycle through and bump our pig health back up. And also, how much of this... It takes quite a bit of it. I feel like corn is that's sort of the staple of the pig diet. And we were 100% empty. Okay, so about 2,500 liters. Okay, and that's for 25 pigs. I mean, if that holds up to 200, that's quite a bit we'll be dumping in there. But we'll figure it out. I'm confident we can make money with pigs next spring, next summer. As well as we did this year without really, I don't want to say not knowing what we were doing, but without really being prepared for things to go the way they did. I think $500,000 is just fine for the first year. And hopefully we'll be able to, at a minimum, repeat that next year without having everything, blow up in our faces food-wise. The nice thing is, if we ever do get in a pickle, we can just sell all of them. We can sell every single pig that we own and sort of reset that, right? If there's anything going really, really wrong, we can just absolutely put the brakes on and solve that problem. It's not the best way to do it, but we do get paid. All right, so we will set the brake here, and we're still doing okay. I see our little New Holland making its way around. So we'll run over here, we'll hop in, and probably just roll back to where the 1255 is parked, empty again, and call it. Yeah, that works. Yeah, because we're at just about 20 minutes right now, and this seems to be going pretty smoothly. We've got one power pole in this field, and that's the only thing we really have to deal with. And I think, oh, I'm sorry, two power poles. There's a second one right there. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It's the other field that has the one power pole. Maybe? Maybe? Oh. Anyway, we'll get through it okay. It's a fairly narrow header, and it's a pretty big field, so I suspect it's going to spend most of its time just doing its thing, and every now and then it might bump into a pole, but we'll sort it out. All right. Anything else you think before we wrap up here? Anything else? Strumblehead, Blockwell, pigs, cows. No, we're good. We're good. And these two fields, now I did learn, it was a month or so ago, maybe a little bit longer. I did have somebody inform me that there's plenty to do on a farm during the winter. One of the things that you do is you haul manure out to your fields and start getting those ready for spring. So we will be making, now that the animals are sort of spending more time indoors for the fall, we'll be getting a lot more manure from both pigs and cows. And if we can, these fields are probably 40 or 50,000 liters a piece, maybe a little bit less. Let's say 40,000. If we can get 80,000 liters of manure from our pigs and cows, we'll have plenty. Sir, where are you going? You know what? Let's just stop right there. Let's just stop right there. We'll have enough, hopefully enough hard manure that we can get both these fields covered and ready for spring. And then in the spring, we will turn that under, get the double buff, and put corn in these as well. If we still got plenty for the animals, it will be for silage. If we don't have enough for the animals, then it'll be for the animals. Is that good? That's good. There you go. Right on. That works out. Let's hop out here. Beautiful. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 17. This is the Western Shore. See you next time. Take care now.